Okay, zebras, I decided to take one more day to go over your fractions before we have our test. We'll have our test on Wednesday instead. So yesterday I got you started on this page. Remember the review page or the review chapter page? Chapter review looks a lot like the test. So if you can do well on this and know what you did, how you're supposed to do this, you should do well on the test. So yesterday you should have done this, and I started you on it, but I'm going to go through every single problem and work it with you so you can see if you got it wrong, you can see what you did wrong. Because if you don't know what you did wrong, you're not going to do well on the test tomorrow. Okay? So be patient, take a deep breath. I'm going to try to go slow, and then you can see what I've done and what you're supposed to do. You can also pause me, remember? So if you feel like I'm going too fast, pause me. You could even rewind it a little and start it over on that problem. So now that I think about it, I don't really need to slow down. Some of you've got this, so I don't really want to slow down for the people who do have it, and it'll be very boring for them. So instead, I will go a little faster, but you guys that need to stop, pause it, and figure it out, do that, okay? So pause me whenever you want. That's the nice thing about this. Okay, so we're doing Chapter 9, Chapter Review, page 225 again. And I can't even remember which ones I did of these and which ones I didn't do with you, so we'll just do them all. Okay? So, again, when the denominator's the same, we leave the denominator the same. These are the easy ones, right? I hope most of you said, yeah, these are easy. Okay, so 3 plus 3/8 is 6/8, but it does say you have to do it in lowest terms. Okay, so both of these numbers are even. Anytime you have two even numbers, it means you can reduce them, divide them both by 2, at least. Maybe a bigger number than that, but 2 for sure. Okay, 6 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 equals, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our answer is 3/4. Do you see it? Okay, down here, the denominators are the same. So the denominator stays the same, comes all the way across, right? And then 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So 6/7. Can we reduce? No, that's finished. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm going down. Can't you tell? That was number 1 and number 4. We'll catch the other side here in a second. Okay, go over to number 7, or down to number 7. Again, ninths. Pay attention to the signs though, because we were at adding and now we're subtracting. Okay, so 5 minus 3 is 2. Can we reduce 2/9? They're not both even numbers. Can 2 go into 9? Nope. So we are finished. Okay, number 10. 10 is longer. Push this up just a little bit. 10 is longer, but still has common denominators, so we don't have to make equivalent fractions. We can do this. 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 6 minus 1 6 equals how many 6? 3 minus 1 is 2. Can we reduce this? Yes, because both of them are even numbers, so they can both be divided by 2. So bring over the whole number. We don't do anything to that. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 1/3. Good. I hope you all got all of those right. These are the easy ones, right? Okay. Pop over to number 2. And there will be a section of easy ones on your test too. But then there will be some harder ones where you have to make the equivalent fractions, but we're going to get this, okay? All right, 1/9. We're going to answer this in ninths. Okay. 1/9 plus 5/9. 1 plus 5 is 6. So it's 6/9. Okay, this one is all in 12ths, so the answer will be in 12ths. Sorry, I forgot to say this. Can we reduce this? I'm going too fast. They're not both even numbers because this is an odd, but first of all, look and see. Can 6 go into 9? No. But is there another number that can go into these? 3 can. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So our answer is 2/3. See? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, then 12ths. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. We have 12 twelfths. What does that equal? You got all the pizza. You just cut it up and no one's taken any yet. So you have one whole pizza. Okay, I'll tip this down just a little bit so I don't have to move it. Here we go. This answer is going to be in tenths because they're both in tenths. It's a subtraction. 9 minus 4 is 5, and this number, that should pop out at you as what? It's a half, right? 5 is half a 10, so 5 tenths equals 1/2. Right? Okay, onward we go. Back over to the top in the last row there, or the column there, I guess you'd say. Oh, I missed one. No, I didn't. Did I miss? Oh, yeah. There's another row down below. I didn't see that. That's okay. We'll catch that in a second. All right. So now, same thing here. These are both in fourths, so we don't change that. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. Can that be reduced? Not when they're one number away. No. Eighths. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 6 is 11. 11 eighths, are we finished? You say, well, nothing can go into both of those, but that's not the way it works. Remember, this is a pizza cut into eighths. You have 11. 8 eighths makes one whole pizza. So we know we have more than one pizza here. So we need to divide the top number by the bottom number, write the remainder as a fraction. Remember, 8 goes into 11 one time. 11 minus 8 is 3. So we have 1 and 3 eighths. Notice how the denominator didn't change because we didn't reduce it. We changed it or renamed it, okay? And then right below that, 8 fifteenths minus 3 fifteenths is going to be in fifteenths. 8 minus 3 is 5. They're not even numbers, they're both odd, but can 5 go into 15? You betcha. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Just divide both numbers by the same number to reduce. 1/3. That looks a little weird, but the answer is 1/3. Okay? Now let's catch that bottom row that I was skipping. Okay. Here's number 10. Still in the same denominator, so we're going to end up with, whoops, we don't have to do that, sorry. When we have the same denominator, we don't have to make equivalent fractions. Yay! 8 minus 4 is 4. This is going to be at 6 because they both have the same denominator. 3/6 minus 1/6 is 2/6, and those are both even numbers. So bring 4 across and divide both of those by the same number. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 and 1/3. Okay, then number 11. Still the same denominator. So 7 minus nothing is 7. 7 eighths minus 6 eighths equals how many eighths? 7 and 1/8. Okay, nothing to be reduced when the numerator is 1. And then number 12. 6 minus 4 is 2. And when you take nothing away from 3/9, it's just 3/9. Now, if it was the other way around and this were down here, then we'd have to cut this one up and use it. But not when it's down here. We don't need any fraction. So the fraction can just fall down. So we had 6 whole pizzas and some part of a pizza, but you only wanted 4 whole pizzas. So you took 4 away from the whole number. So that left you with 2 and 3/9. Now, can 3/9 be reduced? They're both odd numbers. Both can be divided by 3. So we bring the whole number over. 2 and 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 2 and 1/3. How many guys got that section right? Hopefully you all did because those were the easy ones. Okay, now, I know we did one of these problems, I think, or I told you how to do it. Okay, the picnic area. Okay, it says Mrs. Buckley's 5th grade class took a field trip to Summit View Park. It says students in group 1 walked to and from the summit using Trail A. What's the total? Okay, so we talked about this. Trail A is the blue one, and the blue one says 3 1/4. So to and from. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4. And what does 2/4 equal? 1/2. So the first answer is 6 1/2. That's on number 13. Should be 6 1/2 miles that they walked. I think we did that one together. Okay, number 14 says, students in group 2 walked to and from the summit using trail B. How far did group 2 go? 2 1/2. Is that what we said on this one? Because we're going to need that again in a second, aren't we? Or no, it wasn't 2 1/2. It was 3 1/4 and 3 1/4. So it was 6 1/2. Because at the end, I think we need this. Okay, so trail B, to and from. And it's 2 1/2 miles. This one right here. It's also right here. So 2 1/2 and 2 1/2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1/2 plus 1/2 is a whole. So 4 plus 1 then would be 5. Okay? So this one here on 14 should be 5 miles. Okay? Then on number 15, students in group 3 walked to the waterfall and back. So to the waterfall and back is 2 3/8, unless I'm not looking at something clearly. No? Okay. So 2 3/8 and 2 3/8 is 2 plus 2 is 4. I'm going to write the answer over here. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3/8 plus 3/8 is 6/8. Okay? And we can reduce that because 6/8 can both be divided by 2. Good. So 4, I'm messing up here. 4 and 6/8 equals 4 and divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it's 4 3/4 miles. That's the answer on number 15. No, right here. Okay, on number 15, 4 3/4 miles. Then it says on 16, what is the difference in distance walked by group 1 and group 3? Oh. Okay, group 1 was in 13, and that was 5. No. It's the problem with writing it on the board, and then I move the paper. 6 1/2. Okay, so trail A was 6 1/2. That's what the first group walked, and the last group walked 4 3/4. So 6 1/2, and the difference means subtraction. Good. So 6 1/2 minus 4 3/4. Okay, let me just double check that I've got the right math problem. What is the difference between 1 and 3? Group 1 walked 6 1/2. Yep. And the last one 2 4 3/4. Yes. Okay. So bring these across because this time we don't have the common denominator, do we? Can you guys see that? Yep. Okay. So don't have a common denominator. So will this one go into this one? Yes. So we're going to make this into fourths. And don't forget your whole numbers. Bring those whole numbers over. Fraction bar into fourths. 4 3/4 equals 4 3/4. And then how many halves are in, or what would half be in fourths? It'd be 2/4. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Then can we subtract it? Oh, they're giving us a hard problem here. Can we subtract 3 from 2? No, we can't. So we're going to have to cut up one of these pizzas. And now you may not be able to see me because I'm going clear over here. So we're going to take one away and cut it up. That leaves 5 whole pizzas uncut up. We're going to cut this one up into fourths. So 5 4/4 makes 6 plus 2 more fourths. So it's going to be 5 4/4 plus 2/4 is 6/4. And just bring this one across again. Okay. 5 minus 4 is 1. 6/4 minus 3/4 is 3/4. So the answer to number 17, is it? No, number 16. The answer to number 16 right there is 1 3/4 miles. How many of you guys got all the story problems right? I hope you all have your hand up. Good. Okay. Then look at the back. Got some more story problems coming up. Okay. Find the equivalent fraction. So this is what we do all the time when we are adding unlike denominators, right? Can you see all that? Okay, start with 17. 4 times what is 12? 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. And it doesn't say we have to reduce to lowest terms, does it? I lost my place. No, it doesn't. So we're just going to do it this way. 7 times what is 14? 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Whatever you multiply this by, you have to multiply this by. Go over here to 20. I know there's some more over there, but let's do these while they're here. 6 times 2 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 twelfths. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. We multiplied both of those by 3. Okay? So that's 17, 20, 18, and 21. Let's go over and do 19 and 22. Okay. 19. 5 times what is 15? 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 2. Oh, they've switched it on us. 1 times what is 5? 5. 2 times 5 is 10. It doesn't matter because they can switch it as many times as they want. We just have to multiply both by the same number, the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator. Okay? Now look down at section, well, we don't have section numbers, 23 and 24. Now we're going to have to change our denominators. But that's easy. No whole numbers to worry about on this one. Okay? So we have 3 and a 4. Can 3 go into 4? No. So now do the multiples of 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Will 3 go into 8? No. So then 4 times 3 is 12. Will 3 go into 12? Yes. So we're going to use twelfths. Okay? 3 times what is 12? 4. So multiply the numerator by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times what is 12? 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And then we're going to add together 3 twelfths plus 4 twelfths equals how many twelfths? 7 twelfths. Can that be reduced? 7's a prime number. Only 7 goes into 7. So can 7 go into 12? No. So we are finished. Good. Now look at 24. Same thing here. Don't have the same denominator, so we have to put our equal signs and our fraction bars. Can 3 go into 9? This time it can. So we're going to use ninths. So 2 ninths is 2 ninths. You can just bring that one across. 2 ninths equals 2 ninths. 2/3 does not equal 2 ninths, does it? So 2/3 equals what? 3 times what is 9? 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So we have 2 ninths plus 6 ninths. Our answer is going to be in ninths, and it's 2 plus 6 is 8 ninths. Can that one be reduced? Nope. 8 ninths. Did you guys do well in that section? Oh, we're not done with this section. Okay. 25 and 26. Yay, this one has the same denominators. I remember doing this one with you guys over here. But we'll do this one first. Okay, so it has the same denominators, so we can just go down the page. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 tenths plus 1 tenth is 5 tenths, and 5 tenths equals what? 1/2. So bring the whole number across, and it's 8 1/2. Good. I will go through this one more time, because that way you'll know how to do it for tomorrow. Okay, we can't just take 4/8 from nothing. We have to cut up one of these pizzas. We're going to make it 4, because we used 1 to cut up. And since this one's cut into 8s, we're going to cut this one into 8s. So 4 8/8, which equals 5, right? So just bring that down here. Or you could do the equals and equals, but it's pretty straight. 4 minus 3 is 1. 8/8 minus 4/8 equals how many 8s? 8 minus 4 is 4. And 4/8 should jump out at you as what fraction? It's exactly 1/2. 4 is half of 8. So bring the 1 across, and it's 1 1/2. Right? Okay, those were easy. Now, how'd you do on that section? Did you get them? I hope so. Okay. Now our more story problems. Write the answer in lowest terms. Always, 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 always. Unless we're doing that thing like we did a few minutes ago. when we do equivalent fractions. Okay, number 27. Molly biked 1 2/3 miles to the library. She biked another 2.5 miles to the park. So how many did she travel? We got to add these two together. So 1 2/3 plus 2 1/2. We need to make a common denominator. It's a weird looking fraction, but that's okay. So bring the whole numbers across so we don't forget them. Make your fraction bars. Can 2 go into 3? Nope. So let's do the multiples of 3. 3 times 1 is 3. That didn't work. 3 times 2 is 6. Good. So we're going to make it into 6. Both of them have to change. 2 times what is 6? 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So 2 times 2 is 4. And we're adding. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And 4 6 plus 3 6 equals how many 6? 7 6. Now what's the deal with this number? It's more than one pizza. It's improper, right? The top number cannot be bigger than the bottom number. So this is when we're going to think, okay, 7 6 is more than one whole pizza. 6 6 equals one pizza, right? So it's 1, and how much is left over? 1 extra piece, right? 7 minus 6 is 1. So it's 1 1/6. That's what 7 6 equals. But then you have to add this. We have changed it, 1 1/6 to 3. So now our answer is 3 plus 1 is 4 1/6. So see, we did not circle this. It's in parentheses because we're thinking we're not quite done. This is our final answer, okay? And then we got to go back and write it up here. So it says how many miles did she travel? So it should be 4 1/6 miles. Okay. Then our second story problem says Sophie, that's Cade's sister. Sophie picked 10.5 pounds. Maybe you need to ask Sophie what the answer is to this. Cade. Sophie picked 10.5 pounds of apples. Isabel picked 7 3/8 pounds of apples. How many more pounds of apples did Sophie pick? Sophie picked more. Good job, Sophie. Okay, so since it says more, how many pounds more? That means we're going to find the difference between them, and the difference is subtraction. Good. Okay, so it's 10.5. I'm going to start way over here this time. 10.5 minus 7 3/8. Okay, so we can't do anything till we have the same size of pieces. We need common denominators. Whoops. What did I forget? I didn't leave room for my whole number. Bring those whole numbers over, fraction bar, whole number over, fraction bar. Okay, can 2 go into 8? It sure can, so we can use eighths. And that makes it a little easier because 7 3/8 equals 7 3/8. Just bring it across. Okay, 10.5 equals how many eighths? Do you know what half is in eighths? 4/8, right? Or you can do 2 times what is 8? 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, so 4/8 minus 3/8, it doesn't matter what order you do this in. 4/8 minus 3/8 is 1/8, and 10 minus 7 is 3. So it says how many more pounds? She picked 3 1/8 pounds more. Good job, Sophie. Good job. Okay. Now, we're down to the estimating part. Okay, let me move this over so I can do both problems here, and then we'll do the other one. All right, I know I did this first one with you. You know what? I know I did that one with you. Let's skip it, because then we got 2 more, and I can put both of them here in this window. There we go. Just a tiny bit too big. There we go. All right, so 7 2/10 plus 4 4/5. Okay, so when we're estimating 7, will this be 7 or 8? Is 2/10 more or less than half? What would half be in tenths? 5/10, right? So this is less. So we're going to say 7 plus 4 4/5. Is that closer to 4 or to 5? What would half be in fifths? Remember, it's an odd number, so like half a fifth is 2 1/2, which this is not a real fraction, but that's what half would be. So is 4 more or less than 2 1/2? It's more, so we're going to bump this one up to 5. So we're going to do 7 plus 5, which equals 12. So this answer should be close to 12. All right? And we have to make common denominators, so put your equal signs, bring the whole numbers over, make your fraction bars, okay? And can 5 go into 10? Yep, so we're going to use tenths. So that means 7 and 2 tenths equals 7 and 2 tenths. Bring that one across. Then 5 times what is 10? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. We're adding. 7 plus 4 is 11. Look, we're close. 2 tenths plus 8 tenths equals how many tenths? 10 tenths. Uh-oh. And we know how much a 10 tenths is. That's 1 whole pizza. So 11 plus 1 equals, guess what? It was exactly our estimated answer. Now that doesn't always work, but it did on this time. Exactly. 12. Good. Okay, now how about this one? I'm going to have to move this over just a bit because I'm going off the screen here. Okay. So 8 and 6/9. What's half of 9? Half of 9 is 4 1/2. And again, this is not a valid fraction, but if you're going to think of what half of 9 is, it'd be 4 1/2. Is 6 more or less than 4 1/2? It's more. Okay, so this would be bumped up to 9. 9 minus 3/9. How much is half of 9 again? 4 1/2. So is 3 more or less than 4 1/2? It's less. So this one's not going to get rounded up. It's going to get rounded down to 4. Okay, so 9 minus 4 is 5. This answer should be close to 5. Okay, and oh, yay, it's equal, already equivalent fractions. Same denominator, common denominator, so we can just do it. 8 minus 4 is 4. 6/9 minus 3/9 is how many ninths? 3/9. 3/9 would be actually that rounds down to 4, but it's still in the neighborhood. Now if you ended up with 10 or 20 or 1 or 2, you know you're off, but this is real close. I mean, that actually doesn't round up to 5, but it's kind of close. This is 4 3/9. Okay, estimating is just a way to kind of check it and see if you're in the right ballpark. All right, then it says to write these in word form. I'm going to make it smaller so we can get the whole word on there. Can you guys all see that? Pretty much. All right, sum. Remember I said you have to know what that means? That means add, right? So 2/5 and 1/5 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So we should have written 3/5. I think I did that one with you, didn't I? I did that last Friday for Monday, and now it's Monday. Actually, you guys know that, right? I have to do these a day ahead, or either that or get up really early because they publish at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I usually do them the day before. And that's why I'm a little fuzzy. It's like, what did we do? It was last Friday, so I can't remember. All right, 1/9 less than 1. So we're taking 1/9 away from 1. Okay, so can you guys see that? So take this and cut it into ninths. Then it would be 9/9, right? 9/9 minus 1/9 is 8/9. And we write it in word form with words. You guys can print or use cursive, whatever you please. I just write faster with cursive. All right, 3/10 more than 4/10. If it's more, it's going to be adding them together. So 3/10 more, so 3/10 plus 4/10 is 7/10, right? So 7/10 in word form. And then last one, the difference between 7/8 and 2/8. Difference means subtract. So we're doing 7/8 minus 2/8 would equal 5/8. And write that in word form, 5/8. Okay? Now, that was a pretty easy paper. And then tomorrow your test is similar. So if you missed one of the sections, go back and either listen to me again if you still don't understand it, or maybe hopefully with me doing it today that it already helped you to understand it. But if it didn't, ask an older brother or sister, ask your parents, and if none of them can help you, then text me and I'll be happy to set it up somehow so that we can work through it together. Okay? All right, see you tomorrow. Oh, well, I won't see you tomorrow because tomorrow you're taking your test. So tomorrow you're going to get into your bag that the big grocery bag and find the other bag inside of it, the Ziploc bag. It had all the little papers, has all your tests and stuff. That's where it is. And it's test number 9, I think. Yes, because this says Chapter 9 review. So test 9, and then you're going to enter your answers into the computer. There's going to be a little Google form, a little purple, kind of like a little piece of paper, only purple. You click on that, and they will ask you to put in every answer. And some of the answers will be multiple choice. When I say multiple choice, it'll give you choices like, is the answer 2/3, or is it 1/2, or is it 4/8? And you just click on the right answer. And if your answer is not there, then it tells you, uh-oh, I did something wrong. I need to go back and figure this out. Okay, the Leopards just took their test, and a couple of them did that. The first day, long story short, once they put they attached their test, and I want you guys to do that too. Take a picture, attach it to it so I can see how you did. But then I'm also looking at your answers in the Google form. And a couple of the kids did that, and I said, okay, they forgot to answer on the form. And I looked at their paper test and they missed a whole bunch. And I said, if you go back in there and do it on the Google form, you'll see that answer that you come up with is not one of the choices. So you know that's wrong. So that forces you to go back and try again to get more answers right. And that person would have got a C or a D. This one person I'm thinking of. The other one had other problems. But anyway, C or a D on their test if I had just graded the paper one. But because I made her go back and put the answers into the Google form, and she had to switch some, she ended up with an A-. I said, yeah, that was worth it, wasn't it? Okay, so I kind of like this system. May have to try to think of something like this for next year if we're back to normal. We hope we're back to normal by next year. But anyway, okay, so do your test, then go back in and put all the answers in online. And if your answer that you came up with is not there, then you know you got the wrong answer. You need to do it again, okay? So do your best. Tomorrow you won't watch a video. This is your video about your test for tomorrow. You will just take out your test and work on your test tomorrow, and then put all the answers into the computer. That will help you, okay? So then I will see you on Thursday, the last day this week. This week, we don't have it's Good Friday on Friday. We were already planning on not having school that day. So on Good Friday, this Friday you get to take the day off, and next Monday is Easter Monday, they're calling it, and we were going to also miss that day. Or I mean, we were not going to have school that day already. It was on the calendar that way. So you guys get this Friday and next Monday off. The only problem with that is it makes 2 4-day weeks in a row, and you still have to take your spelling test after 4 days. Like this week, it'll be on Thursday, and your Bible verse test, because we won't have a Friday. And next week, you won't have a Monday to start studying. So you'll still take it on Friday, but there's only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? So next week and this week are short weeks. So make sure you study what you need to do, cram it into 4, or just because we're not having school on Monday and Thursday doesn't mean you can't do it. You can still do it. So, no video tomorrow. I'll see you on Thursday. Stay well. Stay safe.